What's going on, people? Dandagooner here, back on the channel, Gooner's Therapy. First things first, guys, if you can like and subscribe, it will mean the world to us. We are trying to get to 200 subscribers by the time Arsenal kick off their Premier League campaign against Manchester United on August the 17th. So if you could do that, it would mean the world to us. Anyway, let's get into it now. Big news today. Isak from Newcastle has told Newcastle he wants to, keywords here, guys, explore his options. Now, what does he mean by this? Because surely if you just wanted to go to Liverpool, he would say he wants to go to Liverpool. Now, he's not said that. He has said he wants to explore his options. So could Arsenal be one of those options? Could Isak want to come to the Arsenal and be the new Thierry Henry? Could Isak be saying, hold up a minute, I want that number 14 shirt. I want to come. I want to link up with my Swedish mate who I play with for Sweden. I want to come and win Arsenal their first Premier League title in over 20 years. I want to be that guy. I don't want to go to Liverpool. I don't want to go and live in Liverpool. I don't want to go and live with a load of scassers. I want to come to the glitzy London, yeah? I want to come to the famous Arsenal. I want to do something that's not been done. I don't just want to join a team that's been winning anyway and just be another part of the puzzle. I want to be the final piece, you know? Or like, look, listen, I might be dreaming, guys. Listen, I could be dreaming. Just tell me if I'm dreaming in the comments. But listen, I think there's a chance. Listen, we thought we could get Rodrigo and Eze, right? Forget about both of them. Spend that money that you're going to spend on them two on Isak. Boom. That's it. The title is ours. Could you imagine it? Isak coming off the left like Thierry Henry, Gyökeres, gunman, just banging them in. Saka on the right, Starboy. Best front three in the world. It would be the best front three in world football. But look, listen, it's dream world, it's dream talk. But I was coming back today, right? First, before I left work, I listened to Rory Jennings, right? And he's first, shout out him, man. He's one of my favourite, if not my favourite, journalists or football content creators, whatever you want to call him. But he went live today. It was a brilliant show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And he said it could be the best transfer window ever of all time, guys. Of all time. He said it could be the best transfer window ever of all time if Liverpool were to get Isak. Now, bro, listen, you got to go back and go through the years, man, because I'm telling you now, like, there's been some magnificent transfer windows over the years, man. You think of when Chelsea first went and got Drogba, Shevchenko, SEM, Peter Cech. Like, I'm not sure if they're all in the same transfer window, but they must have had a mad transfer window back in 2005, 2006. Damien Duff, Ian Robben, do you know what I mean? They were on serious smoke, and it's always Chelsea, innit? They've always had crazy windows, and sure, Manchester United before have done it with the likes of Rooney, Rio Ferdinand. They just used to go out United, didn't they, and go and get the best player at whichever team in the Premier League. Go and just take their best player. Leeds' best player, bam, we'll have him. You know what I mean? Rio Ferdinand. Everton's best player, Rooney would take him. Do you know what I mean? That's what they used to do. And to be fair, they're decent transfer window. They've got Brentford's best player. They've got Wolves' best player. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom in the transfer market for United. But anyway, back to Isak. Look, like, if he goes to Liverpool, is that it? Are they Premier League champions? Do Arsenal even stand a chance? Do Man City stand a chance? Because everyone's gone quiet on City. They kind of did their business really early. But that Reinders and Cherky are two fabulous players, man. That Reinders for AC Milan, there's a lot of people thought he should have actually got Player of the Year, but Scott McTominay obviously won the league, so, and you know, he had goals and stuff, and I think he deserved it. But listen, I don't watch Serie A, so, you know, but there was a lot of football content creators that I watched, Italian ones, that said he should actually got it. And Cherky, what a player, man. I only watched him once or twice, but that was enough. The guy is he's an absolute baller, man. He's like a Riyad Mahrez incarnation, that guy. The touch, the finesse, everything. So look, I think City's going to be there. They've got Pep Guardiola, so they're going to be there, guys. We're the mighty Arsenal. We're going to be there. We've been there the last 3 years, or 2.5 if you want to just count last season as half a season. But we're going to be there. We've got Gyökeres now. And hopefully, look, realistically, it's probably going to be an Eze or Rodrigo. But could you imagine if we went and got an Isak? Wow, what that would do for the fan base. What that would do. But listen, like I said, I was listening to Rory Jennings. I was listening to TalkSport. They all seem to think it's a done deal. He's in the Liverpool shirt already. Give them the Premier League. For one, he ain't in the Liverpool shirt already. He could still stay at Newcastle. you know, just because he said that he might want, he would like to explore his options, that don't mean nothing. And Newcastle fans, as soon as if they say, look, we're not selling him, because Liverpool must have pissed them off right now, guys. Yeah, they must have, because they asked if he was available. They said no. Then they went and signed a player that Newcastle basically already had that done deal with, and Hugo Ekitike. So they've just proper took the piss. So surely Newcastle, the last team they want to sell to right now, is Liverpool. Surely we all know how it gets. You know, when teams are, when they get funny about these sort of things, like Liverpool, after our terrible, shocking decision to offer 40 million and £1 for Suarez, they were never going to do business with us again. We all remember what they're smoking over there at the Emirates. So look, listen, right? If Liverpool get Isak, is it done? No, it's not done. Arsenal, we've still got a big chance in this title race, but it's our fixtures. It's the start of the fixtures that scare me. The first game, Old Trafford, but it's just got me buzzing just thinking about it, man. But United are going to be up for it. First home game of the season. Everyone, even the most negative fans, they've got that extra bit of optimism. Hopefully, we're gonna take that away from them, and we're gonna smash United. And Gyökeres is gonna get a couple of goals, and Saka, and it's gonna be a lovely day out for me and the Arsenal away boys. But listen, whatever happens in them first few games, it's a long season. It's a very, very long season, you know. So I think as long as Arsenal can do all right, as long as we don't lose two of them games, a couple of draws, you know, because we've got big games. We've got Liverpool and City in our first five. You know, they're going to be tough games. Of course they are. I think we've got Newcastle as well. So it's one of the most hardest first five fixtures is probably in Premier League history. But yeah, I think Arsenal do seriously have a chance at this Premier League title, whatever happens, even if Liverpool were to go and get Isak. Now, can Chelsea enter the title race? Can Chelsea do it? They've just fresh come off the back of winning the Club World Cup, right? So they've won something now. They won, albeit a Tin Pot trophy, only 2 months ago. So they've won a couple of trophies now. So I think you know, they're looking at Xavi Simons now, who's a top player. They're looking at Hato, the youngster, who's a really good player. Chelsea are being smart. They're buying really good young talent. They're always going to get good money for them, even if they don't work out, you know. So they're doing good business, and Maresca looks to be a decent manager. To be fair to him, you have to give it to him. But I just don't think they'll be right in the race. I think it'll be Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. But at this stage, before Liverpool getting Isak, I was really starting to believe that Arsenal were going to do it. They go and get Isak, suddenly Liverpool, they're heavy favourites. Let's be real. They will be heavy favourites, and they'll be the team to catch. Question is, would we be able to catch them? Question is Isak going to go to Liverpool? In these next few days, surely we're going to find out more. But let me know in the comments, guys, what do you lot think? If Isak goes to Liverpool, is it all over? You know, do we have a sneaky chance of signing him? Is it a possibility? Who knows? Time will tell. Now, another thing I wanted to touch on is, obviously, if we don't sign another attacker, which I'm sure we will, but if we don't, it looks like it'll be Martinelli on the left and Saka on the right and Gyökeres in the middle. Where does it leave Havertz? I said it in my previous video. Where does it leave Kai Havertz? Now, personally, I think he's going to get a lot of football this season, because I think there could be up to 60 games this season. Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. It is relentless. Every 3 days, right, that you're playing football. Not for United fans, of course, but for Arsenal fans, for practically 6 or 7, 8 teams in the league. It's every 3 days, right, guys? Yeah, even Crystal Palace, yeah? Everyone's playing European football apart from United, it seems. But here we go. Look, I mean, is there a chance that Havertz could play up top with Gyökeres? Is that an option? Do you think that could be an option for Arsenal? I think it certainly could. I think, you know, them two up top together, Havertz has really bulked up. Gyökeres, we know already, if you see some of his pictures, just type it in, Gyökeres topless, and you'll just see him ripped up to shreds. The geezer he's a beast. That's why I don't worry about him acclimatizing to the physicality of the Premier League, simply because he's built like a machine. So imagine them two up top together. I think certain games that could work, or certain games at the Emirates last season, when it's just not working. You know, it's just not working. You're playing all the tippy-tappy football and you're cutting it back and all of that, and it's just not working. Imagine it. We were launching it long, Frank Gabriel up top for the last 10 minutes in certain games in the bloody Emirates. You know what I mean? So imagine now you're launching it up and you've got Havertz and Gyökeres, 6'2" and 6'4", I think Havertz is. Both of them built, strong. Mate, we could bully our way to this Premier League title. We really could bully our way to this Premier League title. That could be, it seems like the recipe Arteta's going for. It seems like Berta's jumped on ship with him. Norgard's another big, strong guy. Could we be the Giants that go on change the whole apple cart of the Premier League? And not just all about the best tiki-taka teams like Man City have been over the years. Liverpool were direct and ruthless. Could we be the team that comes and bullies our way to the Premier League title? I think we've got a big chance. We've got a big chance. We're so good from set pieces. Now we've got a guy who can smash them in from anywhere. I think, look, whatever happens, I think Arsenal fans, this is a real time to be optimistic. And I just, look, I hope Liverpool don't get Isak. Don't get me wrong. Of course I do. But I still feel like whatever happens, Arsenal have got a big chance of winning this Premier League title. Now, Newcastle. Let's move on to Newcastle. What is going on with Newcastle? This, look, like I was saying when I was watching Rory's live, they were saying about how it's been such a good an amazing transfer window for Liverpool. But for Newcastle, on the other hand, it has been shocking. Imagine that. They've been turned down by about, I think Mark Gay, he said no to them. Who else was it who said no to them? Ekitike has said no to them and he's going to join Liverpool. There's another few players that they wanted to sign. Who was it? Mbeumo, I think they were in for. He said no. Everyone just seems to be saying no to Newcastle. I'm not sure if it's because of the area, the club, or what it is. I know they're not that big. They think they're bigger than they are. Let's have it right. You know, because they get 50,000 every week at St James's Park and they live and breathe football up there and all of that. I get it. We get it, Newcastle. But it's your first trophy in 70 years, mate. You know what I mean? You need to pipe down a bit. You know, and all right, you've got all that money now, but listen, you're in and out of the top four, right? You know, you got into the Champions League and then you didn't even get through the group stage. And then you fell out of it and now you're back in it just because Aston Villa fumbled the bag on the last day of the season. Do you know what I mean? So it's not surprising to me that like Isak would want to leave Newcastle. You know, everyone I think is overhyping Newcastle a little bit. Eddie Howe, look, he's done an amazing job. Some people try and say he's done a better job than Arteta, and that's just absolute craziness to say that. You know, he's done a good job, but I do not think he's done a better job than Arteta. Get yourself within a couple of points of the title, and then maybe we can start talking about that. But yeah, Newcastle, I think I was tipping them for top four previously, but now I do not think they'll finish top four. I think they could struggle next season. If they can't seem to sign any of their main targets that they want. Are they going to sign players for the sake of it? Do you know what I mean? I think Newcastle, they could struggle. They really could struggle. As in they could struggle to get into the top four. They'll be there or thereabouts, 6th, 7th, you know what I mean, 8th at the worst. You know, not struggle like Man United struggle, Spurs struggle, but they could struggle to get to the top four, which is what they need to do now, establish themselves as a club that keeps on making top four. That's got to be Newcastle's ambition now. And, you know, then to start attacking and going for the Premier League, which, I mean, if they would have kept Isak and got Ekitike as well, which I think was their initial plans, it's totally different. And now I'm sitting here going, could Newcastle potentially be in the title race? But this is why this summer's been crazy, man. The transfer windows this summer is absolutely, it's gone off. It's gone off. I'm just glad Arsenal are a part of it and we're not just being stagnant. You know, we've got our one superstar. Well, I'd say two, because Subamendi looks like he's going to be a real superstar. Just saw him, a few clips of him against that AC Milan. He just looks like the guy. He looks like he's going to be a real star. And look, I've got to touch on, how did I not touch on? I should have opened up the video on it. The guy was so good. Max Dowman, Arsenal fans, talk to me. How good is this kid? How good is this kid? Max Dowman, honestly, this guy, look, I loved Jack Wilshere. He was one of my favourite Arsenal players of all times, right? Bukayo Saka probably is my, with Gabriel, because everyone knows I love Gabriel, but he's probably my favourite Arsenal player, right? Then Ethan Nwaneri, the guy gets me off of my seat. Miles Lewis-Skelly, man, what can I say about him? Do you know what I mean? I love everything about him, the way he plays, his demeanour, his character, just everything about him. But could Max Dowman be better than them all? Could he be the one? Because what he's doing at 15 is not normal. What he's doing at 15 years old, guys, right? At 15 years old, he's skipping past players like they're not there. I saw him demanding the ball off Odegaard. Like Odegaard can learn a thing of him or two. That's how bad it is. This guy could be playing for Arsenal in the first team. I think he's 16 in December. Come January, he could be in that first team. I'm telling you now, he really could be. Max Downman, man. So like, you know, look, sometimes you can buy all the players you want, but you've got to start right there in your team. You know, Skelly and Wanyeri have already proved that, and they're going to have, well, we know Skelly's going to be starting. Wanyeri could even be starting because Odegaard, you know, again against AC Milan, I'm thinking this is going to be a fresh Odegaard reset, ready, firing on all cylinders. But he just looked the same again. He just looks like he's overcomplicating things all the time. But you know, let's see. It's one game in it, so let's not get too carried away. But yeah, it's a massive season for Arsenal, massive season for Mikel Arteta, and in particular Martin Odegaard. He's really got to step things up. But yeah, man, who knows, guys, man? Who knows? We might see the front three of Isak, Gyökeres, and Saka. Could you imagine it? Could you imagine it? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, man. We're gonna come back with another show soon. Gooner's Therapy, me and Realist Gooner. So watch out for that one. Again, guys, if you can like and subscribe, it will honestly mean the world to us being such a small channel. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers before Arsenal play Manchester United on August 17th. So please, if you're watching, hit the subscribe button. And again, thanks for watching.